Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to another video. This video, we're gonna be covering another success story on Reddit. This one is called The Power of Robotic Saturation Sessions. How I manifested getting accepted to my dream drama school, going viral on IG on a dead account, pushing my tuition due date back, and I did it by robotically affirming. I'm gonna link below down in the description to the original post on Reddit because there are some screenshots here showing the verification of these results here. So let's get into it. Okay, hello all. This is a repost, but I wanted to share some amazing things I've manifested over the past few weeks from the end of last month to beginning of this month by robotically affirming through robotic saturation sessions. Also, just want to say if you don't believe that this works, this post should change your mind on that because I've manifested so much in the past few weeks that would have taken years if I wasn't persistent and being consistent in my affirmations through my robotic saturation sessions / robotic affirming. You're probably wondering, what is a robotic saturation session? I was just thinking that. It was like, interesting choice of words. I actually like it because that really is what we're doing when we're doing this. We're saturating our consciousness. Another way of saying that I say a lot is, what is dominating your awareness? You know, what is the main dominant focal point, or what is the main thing that your RAS is tuned into? By saturating and repeating, that's how these ideas seep into your subconscious. They become from conscious into the subconscious. So let's see what they have to say here. All it is just repeating your new story over and over for a certain amount of time until it manifests throughout the day. The reason why is to impress our subconscious mind with the new story, because our subconscious mind needs to get used to the story, which doesn't take long to do. I've seen this happen with many manifestations over and over again just by robotically affirming because it leaves no room for wavering or opposing thoughts, which leads to faster manifestation, at least for me. Now, before I get into my success stories, I want you to remember mindset equals manifestation. Manifestation is a lifestyle. Manifestation is instant and not a process. Affirmations are just your new thoughts. Affirmations don't manifest, you do. The more you saturate your mind with your new thoughts, whether it be verbally or visually, the quicker you will see changes in your 3D no matter what. And I've seen this happen to others, have experienced this myself through robotically affirming, which is easier for me since my mind can wander off while visualizing. So these are the list here. So 1, getting accepted into my dream drama school after being rejected. I was pretty determined to get into a good drama school after working abroad for 6 years, and since I knew the law, I wanted to get used to it. I wanted to use it to get accepted. Now, if you're trying to get into any school or program, don't do what I did and waver and worry about, is it possible? Can I do this? Etc. I did this, and instead of having a strict mental diet and standing firm in my new story of being accepted into the school I wanted, I began to waver and allow my opposing thoughts to take over and impress my subconscious, which was pushed out into the 3D. One moment I had it, then I didn't have it. I would switch between states of having and not having within myself, and what ifs, and is it possible? Can I really do this? This resulted in me getting rejected, even though I was affirming that I got accepted. I was devastated when I got the rejection, thought the law didn't work, but it did. It worked perfectly. It was just me and my dominant thoughts of being rejected that manifested. And that's what I've said in recent videos, that sometimes, you can tell when you're engaging in this practice that if you're just doing it to compensate for the main theme, the main dominant idea, the main dominant narrative being, I'm not good enough to get into this drama school. So therefore, I'm gonna blast these affirmations in here to make up for the fact that I truly don't believe that I'm gonna get in, right? You can tell the difference between that versus I actually am starting to believe that I can get in this drama school, right? And again, a lot of the time it's not gonna happen right away. That's the point of engaging in the practice, because the more repetition, the more that you do, the more that the conscious gatekeeper is kind of like loosens his guard. You could imagine that conscious gatekeeper being like a guard, like in a castle. You know, in those like classic Disney movies where the guard like falls asleep, and then like the hero or the heroine or whatever, the protagonist, like sneaks through the gate to go and rescue the princess or whatever. It's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, the guard is like asleep now because it's just been so robotically, hypnotically affirmed over and over again. And that's why the practice of hypnosis is so powerful, is because by getting into a hypnotic state, using a hypnotic induction, which is really the end goal of all of this, is to slip past the conscious mind, to slip past that gatekeeper and enter into the subconscious. So that alpha level of mind, that hypnotic state akin to sleep, these are all words, these are all phrases that are getting at the same idea. Because when you're in that sort of drowsy state, you're no longer in the beta brainwave state, which is that heightened awareness, alertness during the day, super conscious, super heady, right? You're in that relaxed state. Now you're just like kind of more in the flow. You can receive and you can actually imprint your subconscious now. So that is, again, the goal of what's going on with this. So let's continue on here. So so she says, I was wavering rather than being. After being rejected, I decided, no, I'm going to this school no matter what, and I'm not waiting until next year to apply again. I started to take my desires really seriously and began saturating my mind every hour for 3 days. Yes, 3 days. I emailed the admissions office and asked for a second audition, and they said it's not possible, but they will ask the head director of the school. As I was emailing them and hearing this, I was affirming, sticking to my new story. I then got the chance to have another audition with the head director, and it went amazing the next day. I was accepted into my dream school and program. So, I mean, she kind of skips over this part, but it looks like it appears as if while she was emailing and affirming, that they must have replied back and allowed her to have this additional audition. So she was accepted into her dream school and program. So again, all of this was done by robotically affirming in a saturation session that I did throughout the day. Proof of acceptance down below. 2, I helped my friend do the same. So this is now another success here. Once I told my friend about getting accepted after I was rejected, she asked me how I did it and how did it come so fast. I told her I robotically affirmed and saturated my mind throughout the day for 30 minutes every hour. She's very new to the law of assumption and knew very little about Neville, but wanted to try it out because of my success with it. Since she struggled a bit with doing it herself, we saturated together for 30 minutes every hour. To help her stay accountable with the new story and saturate her mind with it being done, I was robotically affirming her desire as well, which I think helped her a lot. This resulted in getting her accepted into her dream school and program against circumstances that would have made a lot of other people give up. And I want you to know she failed her first entrance exam to get accepted into the school. Her parents also kept saying she wouldn't get in. She was worried, but I told her it doesn't matter because you've already accepted. Creation's finished the moment you affirm, visualize, script, whatever you do. Your subconscious starts taking action immediately, but she still was unsure of if it would work, but she trusted me as we affirmed together. Her mindset got stronger and she wavered less and less. She began to see herself as already being there at her university. And she just told me yesterday she got accepted, and we've only been affirming for a few weeks after her test. You know, I really wish that these people, and some of them do, and that's why the recent post is so awesome, the one with the job and the SP, because she actually broke down exactly the action steps that she took. This person, you can see that she emailed them again, asking for another chance to audition. And you know what would have been really cool is if she would have included the actual email that she sent, because a lot of people are confused by what action to take. You know, the actual actions that people are taking. People are very confused on this subject. And you can see that she walked by faith. Not only was she affirming this, but she also emailed and reached out to the people again to ensure that she was giving herself that chance to actually get that next opportunity. And she must have done the same with her friend. And a lot of this also is like by her helping her friend, she's helping her friend believe it more because she has a success story. And so now in her friend's mind, even though her parents are telling her no and she doesn't see any way it can happen, because she believes in her and she's selling her, hey, look, I was able to do it, so you can do it. Now it's like more within her friend's reality. And now they probably emailed their university as well with a similar email, which again would have been nice if they would have included this. And that's how she was able to get accepted. Because if they both got rejected initially and had to send follow-up emails, it would have been really nice to see what those emails consisted of. Anyways, number 3, going viral on a dead IG account. This one was a big desire, and I had always wanted to go viral on IG, but got discouraged due to all the social media gurus telling people it's hard, the algorithm, trending sounds, hashtags, blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to do that. I also had a very small following, around 130 at the time, so the likelihood seemed impossible. So I wasn't active on this account for over a year and had about 7 posts up at the time. But none of that mattered because this is my reality. Only my thoughts are the truth. So I began affirming all my reels go viral. It's so easy to go viral, and the IG algorithm loves me. I was saturating my mind every hour for 30 minutes for the whole day, something that works for me and hasn't failed me yet. Then I randomly got an idea to post a reel of a random movie clip that was very inspirational, and I didn't question it and just went with it. Mind you, I didn't have a trending sound, no hashtags. Okay, this I like this because she's explaining the burst of inspiration that she got and what it was too, like a random movie clip. This is helpful for a lot of people that are logical. Me personally, I need concrete examples. This right here helps me tune in and be like, so that when I get this burst of inspiration, now I'm like, oh yeah, this reminds me of that story that I read or that success story that this girl posted. And yeah, this is my time to act, right? And that's why I love it when people really go in depth with their breakdowns because it's helpful. So no hashtags, nor did I even have a hook to capture my audience's attention. Very interesting. I just posted it, was happy, and kept saturating my mind, repeating the affirmations. I didn't even know this reel would go viral. I just knew I wanted to post it for some reason. I love that. I love the description, the descriptiveness with which he's writing this. A few hours later, I saw that my reel had reached 500 views. I was like, okay, not bad. More than I was getting before, which was in the hundreds. Then it reached 5,000. Kept going up throughout the day until it hit 20,000 plus and 600 likes. I've never had that many views or likes before in my life, and guess how long it took me? 24 hours. If I listened to what the IG gurus were saying, it probably wouldn't have happened, and if it did, it wouldn't have happened that fast, especially because I didn't have all the requirements to go viral. Proof down below. 4, pushing my tuition due date back until further notice. Since I have so much faith in robotic saturation sessions / robotic affirming, I decided to move my tuition due date back. So I began affirming and saturating my mind that my tuition is not due June 3rd, but at a later date. I was not specific about the date, I just knew that it wouldn't be June 3rd. I did this because the school I will be attending is a career school and not a graduate or university, and they were set on the tuition due date being June 3rd. So I got to affirming, but not every hour throughout the day, I just did it whenever I thought about my school. I did this for a week with no signs or hint of any movement, but kept saturating my mind when it is done. The due date is pushed back until further, with it is done, the due date is pushed back until further notice. Then I randomly got the idea to message my financial aid office to ask about my financial aid package and if it is ready yet. Got an email back stating that no, our financial aid packages aren't ready due to FAFSA, and that I don't have to worry about the tuition due date since everything's messed up this year and won't have a sure date when our financial packages will be ready, financial aid packages. So our tuition due date's pushed till further notice. Some of you may say, well, it would have happened anyway, but like I said, my school isn't a university or graduate program, it's a career school, and they were set on the tuition being due June 3rd. And I apologize for like a little bit of the friction as I'm reading this, but the person who's written this has not been including very much punctuation. So I honestly believe in robotic saturation sessions, robotic affirming, and that it can help anyone because it's just your thoughts being repeated over and over. Even if you don't like affirming, saturating your mind with visualizations and scripting work just as well, but the key is saturation. When you saturate your living in the end, you have your manifestation and it's done. That is what your state of being. The more you are, that is your state of being. The more you are in the state, the 3D will conform and it won't take a long time. If you don't believe robotic affirmations work, they do. You can have exactly what you want. You just have to stick to the new story. It will manifest. It has to, and it can happen fast. It doesn't take months or years to manifest anything unless you believe it does. If you can take anything from this post, let it be that right now you're powerful. Right now you're in control. Reality bends to your will the moment you take mental action, and it happens immediately. There's no process you already have it. Everything's already done. Just saturate. Okay, so then she's got the screenshots there. Like I said, I'll link the post down in the description. So I'll just read the couple top comments here. Great job. You know, the more I'm on the God self journey, the more I can see how at the end of the day, it really is all about repetition. That's for the bigger manifestations, of course. At the beginning, affirming all day long worked fairly well for me, but I've always had a lot of resistance towards it because it felt extremely tiring to me, and so I ended up moving on to a more gentle approach. I established a very consistent manifestation routine made of short sessions, and I found myself repeating affirmations/visualizations over and over again. Anyways, the only difference is that instead of spending all day affirming, I only do a bunch of sessions throughout the day, but I'm still repeating affirmations anyway. And so, yeah, we all chose different methods, but at the end of the day, there's no way of escaping repetition. Hee hee. Okay. Yeah, somebody else is saying they've already been able to change aspects of their old mindset. That the belief in your mindset of being a creator in your own reality is the key to manifest whatever you want. Yeah. Somebody else says it's a matter of making a decision and sticking to it no matter what. Yeah. So, interesting success story. I can say off of this, just to go along with her success with the social media aspect, I've had, with Instagram is kind of tough. You really kind of never know what's gonna take off in the algorithm. And I mean, really it's the same with all social media. I mean, YouTube, you could say the same thing. But one thing that I can say is that like a couple weeks ago, or actually maybe it was just a week ago, I don't remember, but when I posted that original success story, that robotic affirmation success story, I kind of had a similar feeling. I was kind of just pulled to and inspired to check the subreddit, because I hadn't in a while. And if you followed my channel for a while, you know that I like to go over these success stories. I think they're inspirational and they help people. And so I just felt compelled to check, and then I saw that one and I was like, wow, this one's dope. This is a really dope success story. So I did that video, and it actually got more traction than a lot of other videos that I've been doing recently. And funny enough, yeah, I didn't post any hashtags. I didn't try to do anything fancy with anything, not even the thumbnail. The thumbnails lately have just been frames from the video, right? Whereas before I was doing, trying to design the thumbnails better and putting in hashtags and the other stuff, right, that people tell you to do, they tell you to focus on. But that's a perfect testament and a perfect example of when you get that inspired, you take that inspired action and that aligned action, and it ends up working out better than the planned action and the analysis. And the thing is like, I think it's somewhere in between, because I've also had success by doing analysis or planning things out. And I don't want to write that off completely, but when you do get that inspiration, you really got to take note of it. You really got to take action with it, because that is what's in a lot of times is going to actually cut through the noise, because you're receiving almost like this download, this information, this inspiration for a reason, because that's what's going to resonate with your audience, in terms of social media, in terms of interacting with people, being present in the moment, being present, and believing in yourself and adopting those right mindsets. And your creativity is naturally going to flow when you're in that positive space. But again, it comes in, there's multiple ways to get to the same outcome. And so sometimes it's helpful to focus on those outer things. Oh, is my title right on my video? Oh, am I, communicating with the right, how does my tonality sound? Or like, sometimes it is helpful to to focus in on those outer things, those outer aspects. In self-development, they'll call it like inner game and outer game. And so sometimes by focusing on your outer game, and in this case, that could be your technique that you're using, or the way that you're going about things, the steps that you're using in the process, and your inner game being more like the belief, more the inner way that you're feeling about the thing, the inner place that you're coming from that viewpoint, coming from that state, right? And so both can inform the other. And so that's why it's very useful, again, to practice that like good body language, that good expansive, open body language. When you're active, when you're using your body in a confident manner, you're going to begin to feel those confident emotions. When you are standing up tall, for example, breathing deeply, your voice is going to actually project more. You're going to feel more confident. Everything, it is, the body mind is one thing. The body is the subconscious mind. So that's why you notice that when people are nervous, they can't help but it is revealed through your bodily movements. It's revealed in your voice through the micro expressions in the face, because the body is the subconscious mind. So that's why another thing that's great is to look at yourself in the mirror as you inform this new narrative, because now you're speaking it, but you're also seeing it. You're seeing your body, which is your subconscious mind. You are viewing it and allowing it to take shape. You're directing it consciously to conform to what it is that you want. Now, in the case of this drama session, or let's say for drama school, you want to be a better actor. Well, you are going there and you're telling yourself, I'm better and better at acting. I'm becoming better and better. And of course, my drama school is going to accept me because I'm just the right candidate. I'm the right person for this school. And you can see that by doing that, by really getting your body involved with it, past a certain point, the robotic nature of it is really good, but at a certain point, getting it in the mirror, getting into the mirror and telling yourself and communicating with yourself, looking into your eyes while you tell yourself this, is really going to inform it on a whole nother level. Because once you've gotten past the point where you've gotten past that resistance, that initial resistance where you're just like totally not believing it, that's how you get to the next level, where it's like now you're embodying it. Because by embodying it, the word embody, right? The body is included. And the way that your physical body is showing up in the world, because the body is the subconscious mind again, that is how your subconscious, that is your embodiment of it. So practice that, do it in the mirror. View yourself, look at your body language, look at the way that it's coming across. It's going to show you, do you really believe this thing that you're saying? Or is it, again, something that you're doing, you're slapping it with these affirmations just to try to compensate, or it's kind of like you're sweeping the dust under the rug, right? You put the rug over to cover up the dust, or do you truly like clean it out? You truly clean the whole thing out. Now it's a new form, or instead of like putting paint over a broken thing or a thing that doesn't look very good, well, now you're actually fixing it, you're mending it so that it's actually it's real. It's not like you're just doing this to cover up from some other insecurity. So anyways, hope that this success story itself, and then also like the additional commentary on top of it, helps you guys out. I'm gonna leave, like I said, the description down below, the link to the post. With that being said, guys, much love as always, and I will see you guys very soon.